Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is The Trading Savage, and I'm here to help you create your own trading bot with the Charles Schwab APIs. Now, I wrote an article on this topic a few months back, and I'm going to make this video to basically help people get up and running with the Charles Schwab APIs and build their own trading bots. But in this video, I'm going to teach you basically the foundation for getting the initial authentication tokens from Charles Schwab, which is essential for making your own trading bot. Before I get started, I would like to give a shout out to Tyler Bowers, who created this awesome Schwab API Python tutorial. So your first step is going to be going into the developer portal and creating an account. And this account is going to be separate from your brokerage account at Charles Schwab. Next, we're going to go to the dashboard and create app. Accounts and trading production and market data production are two suites of APIs, and I'm going to select both. For order limit, let's do 120, the higher limit of the range. Enter app name. Needs to be something unique. App description is optional. And then the callback URL is going to be, in my guide, this callback URL here. This is the localhost IP address of your machine. So I'm going to create this app, and this application is going to take a while to be reviewed and approved. At first, the status is going to be approved, pending. And then once it's ready, it's going to say ready for use right here in the status. So my app is ready, and the next step will be we're going to find our app details in here. The app key and app secret are very important. So I'm going to take these, the app key and app secret, I'm going to take these into Google Cloud. You can see I created this Google Cloud project, and I'm going to go to Secret Manager. You'll want to add this product to your Google Cloud project if you haven't already. So I'm going to enable this API. Okay, let's create our first secret. So for this secret, I'm going to call this the app key. Secret value, we're going to do double brackets, app key, and the value. So this is the key, and then this is the value. So I'm going to put my app key value. So this is going to be the secret, and this is what we'll call later on in our Python script. And while we're at it, let's drop this down and let's add the secret value. So the secret is going to be app secret, my secret value. So now our secret is finished. I'm going to create the secret. Next, you're going to download the Google Cloud command line interface. So I'm going to go to this download and download the CLI. You're going to install that and run that, and then eventually you'll be able to access it from your command prompt. So I'm going to now authorize my Google Cloud login. So I'm going to say gcloud inits. I'm going to reinitialize this configuration. I'm going to choose the account 1. Now it says pick cloud project to use. And I'm going to say for Schwab API demo. Now you should be authenticated into Google Cloud from command prompt and from the CLI. Our next step is going to be downloading PyCharm. So I would recommend the Community Edition right here. And we're going to create a project. Now I'm going to create a new project in PyCharm. So I am going to name this project Schwab API demo. Create a welcome script, custom environment. Conda environment. And path to Conda. Looks good. Now I'm going to go down here to terminal. And I'm going to say conda activate Schwab API demo. Should be activated. Now I'm going to start bringing over the code. So I'm going to copy and paste this code into main. And as you can see, requests and loguru are not installed currently. So let's install those via terminal. I've just installed requests, and you can see it's no longer underlined in red. And now I've just installed loguru. Now, let us start with our initial authentication. So this script right here, this is the initial authentication script. This is going to make our request to Schwab API for our first batch of initial authentication tokens. Main is a good overview of what it's doing in general. So we basically construct the URL that we're going to have web browser open up for us. We're going to get to that URL, and then we're going to log in, select which account we want to authorize, and get a code. After that, we're going to use the code to construct headers and payload for our next post request, after which we're going to get our first batch of initial authentication tokens. The only things that are missing here are we need to get our app key and app secrets, and we don't have those yet, so those are in our secret manager. So first we're going to need to grab a function that'll get us our secrets. So first we are going to need to get some code that allows us to retrieve our secrets. And in order to do that, I created a few functions here, as you can see. One is retrieve Google secret dict. One is retrieve Firestore value, which I'll touch on later. And the next is store Firestore value. So first, we're going to need to install a few packages. So one will be pip install Google Cloud Secret Manager. And the next will be install Firestore. So pip install Google Cloud Firestore. Now I have two Python files, main and helpers. So we're going to import these functions from helpers into main. So I'm going to say from helpers import retrieve Google secret dict. I'm going to say retrieve Firestore value and store Firestore value. Now we're going to use the retrieve Google secret dict to get our secret dictionary that has the app key and the app secret in it. So I'm going to say retrieve Google secret dict. This takes the Google Cloud ID and the secret ID. Google Cloud ID is Schwab API demo. Secret ID is CS app key. I'm going to say CS app key secret dictionary. Now, I need to bring over the secret ID parameter again. Now let's see if we can run this from the console. So I'm going to run this chunk and see what it gets me. Okay. So I was able to get my app key and app secret from Google Cloud Secret Manager, as you can see in the console here. Now we are going to basically get the values out of the dictionary. So I'm going to replace this with CS app key secret dictionary, and the key is going to be app key. App secret, I'm going to bring this over the dictionary, and let's extract the app secret. Now, if we can run this part. The only thing we need to do now is basically set up Firestore and write our tokens into our token dictionary into Firestore. So I'm going to go into my Google Cloud account, and I'm going to go to Firestore. And it says the Firestore API is not enabled. So I'm going to need to go to the APIs, and I'm going to enable the Firestore API. Yeah, Google Cloud Firestore API here. So I'm going to need to enable the Firestore API. I'm going to select application data, and then I will create a service account. So Schwab API demo service account name, and create and continue. Grant the service account access to project. I'm just going to say, let's skip this for now. Okay, I'm going to go into Firestore, and I'm going to create a database. Now I'm going to say native mode. And make sure to call it default, otherwise it's not going to have a free tier. So you need to keep this name, multi-region, and then let's create database. Now we're going to create a collection. So let's call this Schwab tokens. And save. Actually, I'm going to delete this collection. I'm going to say collection ID Schwab tokens, and then for the document ID, I'm going to say Schwab tokens auth. Now, once we get our tokens from this right here, I'm going to be feeding this into this. So I'm going to use my Firestore value for function, and I'm going to add some parameters to it. So I'm going to say project ID, collection ID, and document ID, and value. Project ID, I'm going to say Schwab API demo. Collection ID, I'm going to say Schwab tokens auth. Oh, sorry, Schwab tokens. Document ID, I'm going to say Schwab tokens auth. Now for the value, I'm going to use this init tokens dict. So this is going to store my initial authentication tokens into the Firestore. Then I can access that from the cloud. Now I'm going to get rid of this part, which I had in my article, but we're going to use functions framework instead. I'm going to use request up here, and this is going to allow me to basically call this function from functions framework, which is a Google Cloud framework. So this right here is what you use to call the function from terminal. So I'm going to paste this here, and functions framework, target, main, source. I'm going to say main.py. And debug, okay. So this all looks good. Now let's run this. Oops, functions framework is not recognized. So I'm going to say pip install functions framework. Okay, now let's run this again. I have some logs. It says retrieve latest secret value for CS app key. In order to basically really execute this function, I'm going to press on this URL here. So this is going to be the Charles Schwab brokerage login, not the API developer portal login. Now I'm going to approve the two-factor authentication. Next, I'm going to go down here and agree to this user agreement. I'm going to select the account I want to link. Next, I'm going to press done. It's going to give me a code up here in the URL box. I'm going to come over to terminal and I'm going to paste this code. Now it says updated the token's value. So did this work? Let's see what happened. I'm going to go to my Firestore and now I see that it added the tokens. So that's great news. That was very little, work in terms of service accounts, permissions, and all to get that to work. So that's great. And then next, we are going to set up the refresh. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. In my next video, I'm going to be teaching you how to complete the refresh token automation so that you have a working refresh and access token at all times. And you're going to be one step closer to building your trading bot with Charles Schwab's APIs. See you in the next video.